Linear relation and rate of change. So we have another twist to the set of examples we're dealing with. However, most of the questions are still the same. So have a look at this graph and answer your questions. So interpret the given situation. It shows cost of parking in downtown. So here we have time in hours and cost in dollars. That is the cost of parking. The graph is this straight line. You need to define the variables. What is rate of change in this situation? What does rate of change mean? What is the initial value? What does the initial value mean? What would the cost be after 10 hours? What is the equation of the line? Answer these questions and then look into my suggestions. Here are my suggestions. Let's first carefully look at the graph. It shows time in hours along the horizontal x-axis and cost in dollars along the vertical axis. The line is going from the origin, 0, 0. So y-intercept, or in this case c-intercept, since cost c is 0. So it starts from 0 and increases. If you remember, we also call it direct variation. Okay, now let's look into the situation. Interpret the given situation, cost of parking in downtown. So we can consider that John has parked the car in downtown and the parking cost is shown in the graph. It is $0 if you park for 0 time period. As the time goes by, you park at a fixed rate, which increases with time. So the cost increases linearly with time. Now let's define our variables. Now the variable here is independent variable time, t in hours, and the dependent variable is cost in dollars. What is rate of change? Rate of change, let's take any 2 points. So let 0 be a good point, and then we can take this point. So in this triangle, the line is rising up, so rate of change is positive. Rise is 20 units, right, from 0 to 20. So we say 20 divided by run is 4. We have 4 here. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So the rate of change is 5. And the units are dollars per hour. So it is $5. Let me write $5 per hour. What does rate of change mean? So rate of change means cost of parking. So the rate for parking is $5 per hour. That's what it means. What is the initial value? Initial value here is 0. What does initial value mean? It means that if you don't park there, then you don't pay. What would the cost be after 10 hours? We see that the relation is directly proportional since it goes through origin. So you pay for the time you park, and the rate is $5 per hour. So it is, I should say, 0 plus. What would the cost be after 10 hours? After 10 hours, it'd be 5 times 10, which is $50, correct? So it'll be $50 after 10 hours. So what is the equation of the line? Equation of the line, normally you have seen is y equals to mx plus b. Now b is the y-intercept. Here it is 0. Therefore, the equation should be y equals to mx. Rather, y equals to rate of change times x, right? In our case, the variables are cost, c. So, cost of parking equals to rate of change of 5 and independent variable t. So the equation which represents this situation is c equals to 5t, where t is time in hours and c is cost in dollars. Do you understand? So this is what the situation is, and that is how you can answer the question. This is slightly different from previous examples, since you see that the fixed cost is not there, right? This type of a graph shows direct variation. All those where we have a fixed cost, they're called partial variation, right? So this is slightly different from those, but basics is still the same. I hope you understand and appreciate it. Thank you and all the best.